Another Northwest Iowa county being courted by a company looking to build a data center. Good evening. I'm Jessica Bowman.
And I'm Matt Breen. Tonight's meeting in Hull, Iowa came in spite of a data center moratorium the Sioux County supervisors put in place earlier this summer. Like Ida County yesterday, PathOne data centers still are looking to court members of the community in Hull for future development. At the start of tonight's meeting, PathOne described the sizes of different data centers, specifically the size of their proposed project when compared to what they call hyperscale data centers. They proposed a 40,000 square foot, 10 megawatt facility, which would use between 340,000 and 700,000 gallons of water a year. The noise from the facility would amount to 65 decibels, which the nonprofit Hearing Health Foundation says is equal to average office noise. PathOne representatives suggested what they believe are good guidelines for a data center ordinance. The public then had a chance to ask questions, which covered the impact of air pollution, EMF studies, employment, even building security. PathOne also said it would build the facility and then rent out the space for businesses to use.
So based on the size of the data centers that you are proposing to build, like how large of a business could you service?
Regional banks, regional hospital systems. There is no answer to the small side of that question. I think the industry is just going to tell us that those big, try not to use company names, but all those big tech companies we all know about, they're not going to be interested in this.
PathOne said right now is only aware of one piece of land that would potentially build on. Many residents also asked what would be the benefit for Sioux County. Shane Walter, the Sioux County Planning and Zoning Director, shared what they have planned for the upcoming data center ordinance.
But built into the ordinance will be a requirement that there is an economic benefit agreement entered into between the county and this company or any company coming in to build a data center.
If you missed tonight's meeting and you'd like to watch it, the entire meeting was streamed on YouTube. To find the link to that video, check out this story at ktiv.com.